Hey y'all, and welcome to Scrappin with Sheri. I love it when the Creative Memories virtual crops come along. They're the second Friday of each month, and they always post 4 sketches on Friday at 5 o'clock Central Time. And then you have until the next Tuesday to complete those sketches and upload your pictures to the Virtual Crop Facebook page in order to be in a drawing to win prizes. I actually won a prize one time. I got a Border Maker cartridge for free, so that was kind of fun. But I love the pages I get done in the virtual crops. And I wanted to show you how I go about doing one of those pages. Now, I'm going to be using sketch number 3 from the March 2023 virtual crop. Creative Memories did start putting the measurements on all the sketches because a lot of people were not liking the fact that there were no measurements. And I wanted to show you how I think through my projects when I'm laying out the pictures for the virtual crop. Now, I looked at it 5x7 here, 3 4x6s, and a 4x4. To me, that's never enough photos to go on my particular page layouts. So I started looking at the pictures I had. Now, this is a trip that my youngest son and his wife took down to Mobile, Alabama to go to Mardi Gras down there. They have a friend whose grandfather, I believe, is involved in one of the crews, and they get to go to the ball and all that kind of stuff. They did this with their friends in college, and they're still doing this. So when I looked at mine, I didn't really want a 5x7 here because I wanted to keep all the daytime activities on this side and the nighttime activities on this side. But I did have a 5x7 here. So I decided I would just flip the sketch because here's a 5x7. And instead of just having 4x6 photos, because mine were horizontal, I stacked those to create a look like they're single photos rather than double photos. Now here there would be a 4x4, but I'm going to go ahead and put 2 here. I do think I'm going to crop this one down to a 4x4 so I can add a journaling box there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And because it was Mardi Gras, it was very easy for me to decide which paper to pull out. I pulled out the Let the Good Times Roll collection. It's a Mardi Gras themed collection from Creative Memories. It does have a lot of New Orleans kinds of things in it, but it also has some very generic papers as well. So I'm going to be pulling the Mardi Gras colors. Now, do those colors necessarily match what's going on here with their shrimp boil and that kind of stuff? No, but it gives you the Mardi Gras feel, which is what I'm going for. So I'm looking at the papers, and it shows there's a border, a paper border here with a border design, and then it shows a 4x7 and a 7x12 piece of paper here. Now remember, I've adjusted my picture, so I've got at least 8 inches there. So I'm going to go with about a 9-inch piece on that. And I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with this purple right here. So let's go with a 9-inch. Now I know my paper is 12 inches, so I'm going to cut 3 inches off right there and just see what happens with this. You know, if I hate it, it's just paper, right? But I'm thinking that this may work for what I'm doing here. And I'm going to keep that going all the way across. I am building on my actual scrapbook pages today. A lot of times I build on paper, but I know where these are going to go in my album. So I'm going to build on the page itself today. Because I don't have enough of this left to continue to the other side. Let's see if I have another piece of that in my package. I just kind of changed my idea right here on the fly. And we went with a 9-inch there, so we're going to go with a 9-inch here also. But I'm not going to need the full 12-inch width, because if you noticed on the layout, there are squares there. Now, I've got a 6-inch picture, so I think I'm going to go with about a 6-inch length there. And I'll just trim that picture down a hair. There's a lot of math involved when you start changing up the sketches. If you do them as is with the measurements on there, it is so very easy to do these very quickly. I'm just going to trim an edge here. I like that with the boys sitting around in their tuxes. And then I will add a journaling box right there. All right, so we've got that basic part of it done. I need some type of paper to go here and here, which is going to cover these extra edges. And I'm thinking I like the stripe there because it brings in all those colors of Mardi Gras. I like that. I also like this music right here. We got crawdads on the back. I think I'm going to go with the stripe there. And because this was 9, I know I've only got like 3 extra inches here. So I'm just going to cut a few strips at about 1 3/4 inches. Now this one I'll only need 1 on the opposite side cut apart at 6 inches. Because we're going to put 6 on the top and 6 on the bottom. All right, got that part done. Now we've also got borders, and I pulled this Baroque border punch because it has the look of the fleur-de-lis that you see in all the Mardi Gras stuff. And I think I'm just going to tuck that along the edges. Right underneath that purple is where I'm going to put that. And I had 1 piece, but I need to cut 1 more of those. When you're using the border punch, just line the beginning of your paper up with that first little black line right there. You can do that on either side. There's black lines on both sides. When you slide, you need to cover up the blue that's on the side you're sliding toward, and just keep sliding and punching. And then I'm just going to cut this apart. And then, because this one's going to have to be trimmed anyway, I'll just cut this one at 6 inches, and then I'll have that done. All right, the only thing left on that layout to do is these squares. Now remember, I went 6 inches here, which means I only have 6 more inches on this side. And because of that, I'm going to make my squares, instead of making the squares 4 by 4, I'm going to make them 3 by 3. And I think I'm going to go back and use these papers I looked at earlier. I like the music notes. I like the green. The green has the little fleur-de-lis on it, so that will help pick up the design in the Baroque. And I'm just going to cut a 3-inch strip off of both of those. And then we'll cut those into 3-inch squares. Let's start laying them over here and see what happens. I've still got my big picture I'm going to do something with. So that's the basic layout. Let's speed this video up and tape it all down and show you what it looks like. Matte this last one, and I kept thinking that a color would be good, but I think that white is still going to be my best bet for it. The color is not great. It was in an event area and the lighting was not good, but at least there's a photo of it, right? Maybe double matte that. What do y'all think? Yeah, that makes makes it look a little bit fancier. All right, that takes away a lot of our little squares over here, but you can still see them somewhat. But the layout suits my pictures, and it fits the number of pictures I wanted to add to this page. So there's a double spread of the Creative Memories Virtual Crop sketch number 3 for March 2023. I hope you'll try some of these sketches. They're a lot of fun, and you get beautiful pages when you're finished with them. Until next time, happy scrapping.